and let me just say we appreciate you staying up late to do this for us. But something tells me you don't sleep much.
No, that's not true. I try to sleep any minute I have the opportunity, because in any other case, the children wakes you up. So you know how it works.
How many kids do you
Uh,
have? Remind me.
I have two, 5 and 2, two
Oh God,
boys. Yep, yep, yep. So yeah, but I'm not interesting. We have amazing IC students on boarding, so they are the interesting stuff here.
good.
So once
Well,
you give me the green light, I'll take it the way you want.
hey, listen, we appreciate you doing this. We appreciate you taking the time to do this, and very important to know that that the students have done a lot of research on you. They've and also we've had a lot of use of your content. So thank you from your conferences and stuff. It's been
Uh,
very informative, and they all sent 3 questions.
mm,
So any question I ask is going to be from them, and some of them, quite frankly, are very good. So I'll get to that in a second. We're clearly within here. Wait, we have 3 more people coming in, so let's get these guys in and settled, and then we'll start.
sure.
um, all right, let's make sure everybody's able to. I think that might be everybody, because I know I have some. All right, if you guys could show your screen, I mean, just so we can see your. I mean, it's not a big deal, but I like it. All right, let's get going. So, Oren, again, thank you for taking the time to do this. We appreciate it, and obviously, as I said, you're in Israel, and it's almost 11:30 your time. So, thanks again. The questions that we have are from the students, and they are based on the background they've done on you and your obviously companies. But before I get into the questions, if you wouldn't mind, just walk us through your background, history, obviously education, all that stuff, right up to the current day, and what's going on today with you.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. So I work with two screens, so it will look like sometimes I'm looking like this, but I'm looking at you guys.
Yeah.
So I'll pass you over here. Um, So good morning, good night, almost midnight. I told my wife, listen, I have a lecture. She's like, what? And it's holiday, it's Passover. It's like, and can I be politically correct, Dave? Is it okay?
You can be whatever you want to be.
And
We're
she's like, what the fuck now? I said, yes. Once you gave me the green light, you cannot go back. So,
you
and
can't.
I'm like, yeah.
It always
So
helps to get the green light from the wife. Believe me, that's
that's
30
true.
years of marriage talking.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, tough. And in any way, she said, really? I said, yes, yes, US time zone and so on. So, okay, great. So I said, we live in Tel Aviv, small apartments. There are big ones, but we live in an area that small count big in other places, and we like it. So I said, so I'm taking the room, or you're taking the living room. How do we do that? She's like, no, you're kidding me. I said, no, you can go to the room with the children. It's also works. So she's in the living room waiting for me. Can you do it short? I said, yeah, 2 hours, and I'm gonna pass it on. So
Uh, yes.
my background comes from sports and tech. So I born in Netanya, which is, if some of you, by names, maybe Josh Katz, you had the opportunity to enjoy Taglit or something like that. Visit Israel, visit some of you. Have you visited Israel? No? Yes? Maybe? No? None of you?
I've never been. I'd love to be. I don't know if any of the students have been there, but
Josh, have you been to Israel?
I've been there once, yes.
how about that?
Oh, okay.
For you.
Uh, so in a way, it's 30 minutes from Tel Aviv. This is where I was born, on the beach, nice city. It's come to be the sports city, but you imagine sports city because you're born, most of you, I guess, or all of you in the US. Sport is real thing in the US. In Israel, it's mainly soccer and sometimes basketball. Maybe you're familiar with Maccabi Tel Aviv basketball. These were the other, Dani Evdia, that went from Maccabi Tel Aviv to play for the Wizards. So this is more or less Israel in sport. We do sometimes well, fighting with people means judokas, and we like to go to the beach. So we are doing well on surfing, but not more than that. So I moved to Tel Aviv, which is the main city, the business city, the main core of doing business in Israel. And when you say doing business in Israel, you mean doing tech in Israel and doing tech globally. I moved to Tel Aviv 10 years ago, got married, 2 children, 38. That's my life. I think that's going to be the same for the next 30 years to come.
Yep.
And from here, to be a little bit more optimistic, so I spent also 20 years as a soccer referee up to the top leagues. Also did some UEFA qualifications, was nice. I didn't reach champions or that much advanced levels, but you get the exposure, you get a sense of how many of you are practically taking active part in doing sports.
Yeah, we have some coaches. I think some people who are involved in different sports here. So, and probably all have been athletes at some point, I would imagine.
Yeah, Kyle looks like he's still an athlete by the white of the screen. It's like, yeah, need some space. Yeah, football. What is it? Rugby, Kyle.
It's actually track and field, but thank you. I appreciate that. I haven't hit the gym lately.
Okay, so forget about it. I was mistaken by the name. I actually meant Natalie. You do sport? It's going to be communicative, and it's going to be very Israeli, means direct into the face, and it's going to be with my Middle East English, so sorry for that, but it's straightforward. I like everyone coming with the ad. I need to be in the gang, so let me. I'll use mine. Where is mine? We don't use them that much, but let me open my clothes. Okay. You're gonna be surprised.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Brandon, Jack, Alicia, are you ready, guys? Ready?
Oh, here we go.
This is new.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
Okay, that's my 3 years old.
You're
Anyway,
tip of the cap.
so that's more or less the style. How much time do we have, Dave?
We have as much time as you want, man.
No. That's not a good answer.
No,
for
we'll
my
go.
wife.
The class runs from 4:20 to 6:50, but
Okay,
we have the Q&A is built in, so we just go.
Okay. Let's start and go with it.
Yeah.
So, how many of you are actually, experienced expert life as an athlete, played something, spent let's say more than 5 years playing soccer, football, rugby, something? Okay. Annette, what was it? Like, what did
Soccer.
soccer? You playing?
Yeah, I played and then a little throughout college as well, and I still play like here and there.
Yeah, surprising, but soccer in the US is more or less equal, 48%, I guess, female, 52 male, of course, more or less, which is amazing in terms of worldwide comparison. European, Middle East, many other countries, they are proud to be active in soccer, but yet we see less than, I would say, 5% of, I would say, two genders playing. Most of the players are males, and this is something to learn from the US. And why is it like that? So we came to talk about sports tech, and why me coming from Israel, we'll talk with you about sports tech, as I started by saying that sports in Israel is a bit, shitty. I was just interviewed into Forbes talking about my involvement in sports and tech, and I said that we are good in several areas. Gymnastics is doing quite well, but we are not even close to the potential in terms of per capita. Almost 10 million people. By the statistics, the GDP, and the economic value of Israel, we are supposed to bring something like 6 to 8 Olympic medals. How many actually we are executing? Maybe one. Why is it like that? So people say, you don't fit that. You guys are good in technology, but you're not good in that, and all these kind of words that doesn't really fit. But If we take the Israeli, the Jewish diaspora worldwide, you know, some of them are top swimmers, top athletes, and so on, that succeeded quite well in other countries, in other cultures. So something with the culture, something with the know-how. And one thing I was amazed to see that in the US, the sports culture is amazing. But then we try to analyze, okay, so what's the value that I from Israel can bring to the table, talking about sports tech? And the value is that I will start with a story. Israel was an amazing, amazing car manufacturer. We created one type of car, something like 40 years ago. It's called Susita. In Hebrew, sus is a horse. So they named the car after an horse, saying Susita. That's, you know, it will give some prestige, credibility to the car, that it has the power like a horse. After a few years, when the camels ate the car in the desert in Israel, in the south part of Israel, they decided that we are not that big of car manufacturers and we are not an automotive country. But yet 30 years later on, Israel created what we are using today. Maybe you're familiar with Waze. I'm not sure how many are familiar with Waze. Yeah, an Israeli invention. And then Mobileye, the autonomous car that was acquired by Intel for $15 billion. And then Moveit, that was acquired as well by Intel. And then Innoviz, that went now public through SPAC. Many of you have heard about SPACs. I'm not sure how many of you are involved in that, for $1.4 billion. And then Israel became a worldwide leader in automotive industry. This with creating a really bad car that the camels had in the desert 40 years ago. And how come? Because Israelis are quite good, and Tel Aviv and the region of Israel, as a small country, is one of the worldwide leaders in technology. And I thought to myself, okay, so let's take this example of being a worldwide leader in technology and leading the automotive industry into the sports. We are not doing quite well, but yet, when talking about digital transformation and opportunities to bring core technology into the sports industry, this is where I see the value. And this is where I'm going to focus in. There is a sentence that many of you are familiar with, that the enemy of excellency is what?
Complacency.
Yeah, when it's comfort, when it's cool, when it doesn't really matter if Brandon works or not, he has something to eat, yeah? Because he can knock on the door, hey, dad, hey, mom, where is my toast? Yeah? Xavi, how do I say it? Xavier? Xavier? How do I pronounce your name?
Xavier.
Xavier. So when Xavier is unemployed, maybe he has some support system that he can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years get along with. You know, he has his room, he has the family, this will support, the other will support. Comfort zone. Many of you, or almost all of you, are in a comfort zone. Yeah, you have something or somewhere or somehow who to rely on. Yeah. And in many cases, when you're in this comfort zone, you don't really create. But when Israel didn't have any other opportunity but creating, we invented. And this what puts many of the things that we see here today in the sports industry as an outcome of this creation by not being in the comfort zone. And Israel is not good at sport. Yeah. By most of the ranks, we are not in a comfort zone. And then we ask ourselves how we can achieve goals, how we can build a competitive advantage of winning. Al Pacino, as an athlete, you know, many of us heard the Al Pacino famous speech. The inches we need, yeah, are everywhere. We need to collect them. And the inches today are the improvement in the technology, in this digital transformation. And if we will be able to collect more data, to analyze more data, to build more solutions that will allow us to understand the big picture of sports and to get better decision making live, it will change our life. It will change the positioning. Are we doing it? Not yet. I'm saying are we? We means the worldwide sports industry, and of course, taking Israel as a model. So my story starts from Israel. I established the Innovation Center at Tel Aviv University, the biggest university in Israel, and count to be one of the 10 leading entrepreneurial universities in the world. This list of 10 universities that are leading entrepreneurship worldwide are, most of them are all of them are US based university, maybe one Chinese university and one Israeli university. So the rank includes Yale, Stanford, Berkeley, and so on. And Israel is even before Yale and others. I would say Tel Aviv University, not Israel. And I established there the Innovation Center and the Venture Capital activity. And this is how I got to know diverse, wide, I would say, a variety of tech solutions. And I was knocking on the door of each one of these kind of verticals of technologies. And I said, automotive, is it relevant for sport? Yes, no. Can you answer fast? Xavier, is automotive relevant to sport? Automotive technology, autotech.
Well,
Yes or no?
no.
No. Okay. Sam, finance technology, as we call it, fintech, is it relevant for sport? Yes, no.
Could be in some sense.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Matt, agri-tech, is it relevant for technology? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Nicole, cyber, yes or no? Cyber technology, cyber tech.
Yes.
Yes. Why? Travel technology, is it relevant for sport? Yes or no, Natalie?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm not asking you, Kyle, because you're too big and I'm afraid. I'm being tough with you. Also, Annette, Elson, you guys look tough to me. I'm not, with you, I'm going to keep it very soft. And asking you guys if it's relevant, yes or no, because we need to understand that sports technology is everywhere. What's sports technology? When I go to the stadium, Xavier, I need to catch the public transportation. And I need to make sure that at the peak event, 100,000 people are going to watch the Super Bowl, normal life this year, 20,000 people. And they use what they use? They use public transportation, or they use the way, they use traffic. And you have to, checks and balances, navigate them. Where do they park? How do they go from here and there? So of course it's automotive. And then when they come to the stadium, Matt, and I have to check where are the hooligans and where are the normal people. So I use, what do I use? Face.com. I use cyber solution to identify the people that I don't want to have part of the stadium, but I do want to let the audience feel that they come to the stadium, they invest money, time, and so on, the best resources. I want to let them feel secure and not showing everywhere police and ask people, where do you come from, what are you doing, where are you heading, and this and that. To let them feel the user experience needs to be fluid, and everything needs to be in a normal life secure but hidden. Means that I feel secure, but I know that there is a big brother that is taking care of me. So this is cyber technology in an event of 100,000 people. You don't remember, but 3, 4, 5 years ago, ISIS used to make regular calls. Hey, there is a bomb in the stadium in Germany. I think it was Munich. And they evacuated more than 60 or 70,000 people because of, one phone call. So I would say unpleasant child with his, what was it, PlayStation, when his mom told him, no, you're not playing today, make this call, or is it a real terror attack? So cybersecurity is everywhere. And when you play -5, -10 in Russia, and you have to hit the grass, so you use agri-tech solutions to play, yeah? So all this recycling of water in many of the stadiums that we are aware of, many of the sports. So thinking about technology for sport, it means that it's everywhere and the opportunities are everywhere. And who is going to lead these opportunities? Is Jack, because Jack speaks sports, but it can also speaks media, digital transformation, technology. And this is what we are missing today, because everywhere people teach us sport, how to become better coach, and sport management, how to become a better manager for the team, but no one really teach sports tech management. And the future of sport is sports tech management. The ability to build structured management, structured coaching, structured TV rights management, commercialization, new income streams is based on what? On technology.
That's right.
How many of you are playing fantasy?
A couple.
Very common in the US, less common in Europe, it's rising. And in the rest of the world, it's getting there. We all play fantasy in between friends. This is ancient, yeah? Ah, do you bet? Let's bet. 5 guys are meeting. Yeah, okay, who do you think is gonna win? Ah, they won, nice. This is fantasy all times, yeah? Today,
So-
that.
Let me just jump in and ask a quick question because, you know, what is the sports gambling in Europe and Israel overseas? Because here it's on the up because now the states are
Yeah.
starting to support it, right?
Most of them, yeah.
Because it's a revenue stream, and you know, so. But I mean, but before that, you could gamble offshore on some sports book account online. Is that a big thing?
So
Other-
first of all, to reflect.
Yeah.
So just to get you into the mindset, yeah. And I will answer by, you know, I am a storyteller. That's the deal, Dave. I came to
Well,
tell
there's no
stories.
doubt you're a
I feel
referee,
like-
right?
No, I feel like
You
feel
take
like my
control.
grandpa. I feel like my grandpa or like my dad, you know, we come for Friday dinner and he starts stories and you already shared these stories that, you know, you don't have patience. Listen, there is a new ending. You know, you shared all the, you know, type of endings. But anyway, into the deal. So the mindset that you don't have is a mindset of people that are coming from small countries or small regions. Now, because you're students, how many of yours grew up and studying at the same place? How many of are coming from, or were, how many of you were born in the area of the university or the academic institute you are studying at? Matt, Sam, and Natalie, how many hours or I would say flight driving it takes to get back home where you were born from the place that you're at now?
Probably like an hour and a half. Like
An
a
hour and a
drive.
half.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nicole.
Like 30 minutes. So I'm in the area.
Alejandra.
I'm from Mexico, so like a 4 flight.
20 minutes. Nice. Annette.
I'm from the West Coast, so like six hours at least.
So what happened? An Israeli will take the longest ride, yeah? It will take, let's say, cross all Israel, 6 hours. Yeah, the length. The wide is like 2 hours. So in the mindset, it's a small area. So we are limited with the opportunity of saying, where are we at? We are in a small country that most of the country is like a beta site. You want to do something, you want to try something, it's a closed beta site. There is a closed community. I have an app, it's called Waze. How difficult is it to wire all Israel with Waze? 6 hours, 2 hours, done deal. 2 weeks, Israel is wired. Waze, let's test it, works, doesn't work. Ah, it's working great. What do we do now? Let's get into the big market. Where is the big market? The Big Apple. Where is the Big Apple? Where is it? It's in the US. You don't have this mindset. You think big from day one. Now, what happened with Israelis, or in general, entrepreneurs that are coming from Sweden, which is a very strong entrepreneurship-oriented country, or Finland? What happens with these entrepreneurs that were born in these countries? They think big, I would say, act local, think global. This is what happens. And why is it relevant for you? Because you are coming from a giant sport industry with endless opportunities. Again, going back to the comfort zone. Yet, the difference is that when we want to do something around sports tech, and we want to act local, let's try this sports solution in Israel, and then let's try it in the Big Apple, let's try it in the US. Where is the barrier there? That sport is not fintech, it's not cyber, it's not construction tech, yeah, it's not cyber tech. Sport is the culture of the US nation. Sport is the language. If people don't know what 76 errors, 49 errors, what are those weird words? What? Ball, let's kick the ball, let's throw the ball. No, it's supposed to be super complicated with tons of data. Why? Because we like it. And this is something that someone that comes out of the US and is not familiar with it is getting a shock into the face. You know, I'm coming to talk about sports tech. It's a tech. No, no, no. It's my culture. It's my belief. It's my theme. It's my slang. It's my mother. It's my father. It's my grandpa. My grandpa. It's the stories. And if it's not that, it's my college. You know, I'm proud of, you know, my college. And this puts a situation that you are, Alejandra moved from Mexico, yeah, and now she's in the US. She gets the story. It's becoming part of. It's like in Israel, you go to the army. If you go to the army, you understand the slang. If you are part of the academic world in the US, you get a slang. If not, it's very hard to close the gap. And this is a huge advantage you have. Now, you need to understand where the world is leading you. You choose, all of you, I think, a free decision to study sport or to learn something related to sport. Yes, I guess. Is
I
it
hope.
freezing? Yeah. Katie, what about you? I'm not sure there. Are you happy? You're happy?
I'm happy.
Yeah, sababa. You know what sababa? Sababa in Hebrew, it means cool. So when I say sababa, it's like saying cool. So I study, you guys decided to get into the sport world. Now you have to understand that if you are not going to work now with your mindset to adapt technology and to add it into your story, you're losing the opportunity here. You're losing the lead. Many, I would say, like you in different programs all over the world are getting it step by step, but not like it's supposed to. The advantage that you have, that you are in the Big Apple. The disadvantage is that you were born or you are now in the Big Apple and you don't understand that there are many small apples. Why? Because once you launch a solution and once you adopt something, you know, Youth Academy, I work with many tech solutions and all of them, the a team here in Israel, a team in Germany, a team in the Netherlands, and then let's conquer the US market. Early adoption, economy that can pay, people that understand technology and so on. It's all clear why the US, yeah? And what happened is that you don't understand that you are coming with a huge advantage that creates a disadvantage for you to implement these technologies because you are in a comfort zone. So this product is not good. Okay, it's not good. No, you need to work hard to make sure it's going to be perfect that all the US market, from Texas to New Jersey, people will adopt it with the differences, because also in the US, there are differences of cultures. But let's go from the beginning. Let's assume that we are not talking about the culture difference and where you are positioned and so on. What are the three main, I would say, the three main ingredients or parameters or reasons that sports tech is rising in the last, let's say, 5 to 10 years? Why? Why now?
Well, one would be the pandemic.
Okay, pandemic accelerated all the digital transformation, also sports, also we can say also e-learning, yeah? So pandemic accelerated all the digital transformation in general. But let's say that we are talking now, we are January 2020, and I will ask the same question. What will be, give me the three answers. One of them you already mentioned in this call. So one is?
Gambling.
Yeah.
Gambling.
Yeah, the US sports betting is becoming, of course, legal in state by state. It doesn't go top down federal, but state by state. And it's clear that this is a huge motivation, because we know that in general, there are three things in the new economy that moves, also an old economy, but new economy that moves things forward. One of them is gambling. The other I cannot talk about, but one of them is gambling. So what's the second thing? Josh? Who will define himself a real geek here?
Would one be social media?
Ah,
Nah.
close, but not yet there. You're close.
Is it gaming like
Gaming,
competitions?
esports. What's the relation in between sports to esports? Or let's make it public. Who thinks that esport is sports?
Okay.
Xavier, Kyle, Nicole, Brandon is thinking about it. Take 2-3 years and let me know. Okay. Who think that esport is sports? Matt.
I don't really. I think it's a competition, but I don't think it's. When I think sports, I think physical stuff. Physical activity.
Okay. Who doesn't think that esport is sport? Let's make it easy. You guys are on the fence. Okay.
Yeah.
Still thinking about it. Okay.
I think they're afraid
So
to answer.
it doesn't really matter if we think if esport is sport, because it's already there.
It's a business.
It's already adapted. It's already known and talked also in the Olympic committees and many other organizations that they understand that esport is part of the sports industry. And Fortnite is part of the sports industry. So any, I would say, online competition, is becoming sport, even if it's not related. I thought at the beginning, okay, makes sense that maybe if you play FIFA or NBA 2K, it's sport. No. Talking about shooting, Fortnite, those kind of strategic games as a competition are becoming part of the esports gaming and are becoming under the umbrella of sports. Now we know that esport closed the $1 billion industry last year for the first time. It reached the $1 billion worth. And we understand that in the next years, it's going to grow, to boom. And the opportunities, the economic opportunities are going to be there. Why? Because the average age on this call is, let's say, most of you were born 1997, 2000, something like that. Yeah. Wow, I feel old. Like that.
You feel old.
Dave, no, you're here for the average to let me feel fun, So in general, what we are seeing is that there is a huge change in the market that is one creating because of the sports betting. The second thing is esport. And the third thing is like in any other industry, Matt, we talked about it, but it's not a digital transformation, but the data that this digital transformation brings to the table. And I will ask Mr. Olden, how many of, let's say, more or less 110 technologies that one of the leading MLS teams is using, how many of the 110 technologies that they are using at the team is related to data and statistics? More than 20%, I will help you. Okay? And data is an engine. Many of you are familiar with Moneyball, yeah?
Yeah.
Moneyball created a landscape for data collection, data analytics. And when the world is developed into IoT, that you can collect many things, great. But when the world has developed more into electro-optics, that each one of us is holding this, we can collect, analyze, and actually see the outcome of the data collection in a second. So one of the companies I'm working with, I will write it on the chat. It's called Playform. Yeah, Playform. Sorry to disappoint. I know that almost none of you, beside Annette and others, are into soccer, more into football, another. Yeah.
You never know.
But maybe, let's say 20%. So Annette, if I would like as a soccer player to check my drills, I have to have someone looks at me, give me a feedback or take in a video and then analyzing later on. But here you can use your camera with you can use your great cameras that we have today installed in the iPhone which actually I'm not sure how many are familiar, but the dual camera technology is an Israeli technology that is called Core Photonics. My partner at the venture capital, Professor Mendelovich, he established the company and sold it to Samsung for $150 million. But it's a nice tech. So today, with this advanced technology and advanced features that you have here, this is becoming a data collector. Yeah. So you don't need to spend money on hardware. You have great cameras. And this is the revolution. So data, betting, and the third thing is esport. Three of them are fueling the industry and creating a massive digital transformation, Matt. And the opportunities are everywhere. But let's ask a question. You like it by presentation or freestyle? You decide, guys.
No, you're good.
I'm good. Yalla. Sababa.
I like this better.
Yalla. Sababa. Sababa. What sababa?
I would only recommend and suggest that, because you guys sent me your questions, that you jump in and ask your question anytime. Ask your best question, because he's gonna go on a roll, and I love it.
I love it too. No, I'm kidding. No, but let's ask a question with presenting something. Yeah. Can I present? Can I share screen?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Espera un poquito. You know, I'm allowed almost midnight in Israel. This is the time when I'm becoming a frog or something like that by the stories. Alejandra, tell us a little bit about Mexico.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a lot of culture. The food is amazing. Tacos is the best. Mariachi music.
Nice, nice.
I like that song that you just started singing.
Okay, so I cannot share. Anyway, I'll go on with that. But
Can't share. Wait. Why can't you share? So
anyway,
I need to.
No, don't.
No. All right.
So I will say in between that I established 4 years ago an innovation center between Israel and Mexico, which is great, and I like the food as well. But as you know, it's a bit spicy. So I'll let you guess, guys. Which game or which sports occasion is the, I would say, as the highest number of viewers in the US?
No, I think we've got that one.
Kyle.
I would say football.
Okay, if you can be more specific.
American football?
No. Football, but when? Okay, Super Bowl, yeah.
Oh, Super Bowl. Okay.
Sam. After, let's say that the NFL is the most viewed, but then let's get into the second, the third, and the fourth leagues.
Probably the NBA, NHL, and MLB.
By rank.
Rank them.
NBA is probably next. Actually, I don't know, NBA or MLB, and then NHL.
Choose one. Let's take it. You know, if you choose one, you make a decision. If you choose 5 of them, it means that you don't know how to make a decision.
Sounds good. I'll go NBA.
NBA. Okay. Nicole.
You want me to rank them as well?
No. Just the second after the NFL, the most viewed. Which league is the most viewed in terms of as the highest viewers, let's say 2021?
I'll go with Sam on NBA.
NBA. Thank you. Brandon?
I agree with Sam and Nicole. I'm going to say NBA as well.
I don't agree with you, Brandon. Just because I don't agree with you. I don't have any other reason why not to. But esports is the second after the NFL. Esports, yeah? So it's not the MLB, it's not the NBA, it's not the NHL, yada, yeah? And instead of share screen, I will do that. You see, NFL, esports, MLB, NBA, NHL, boom. Crazy, huh? This is the word. This is the world we are heading. And you know what? Why is it like that? And whose fault is it? It's your fault because you decided, the young generation, to focus on that. So today I'll talk a little bit about sports tech. I'll talk a little bit about the challenges, and I'll talk a little bit about myself because, you know, everyone wants to talk about himself. So 1997, I decided to become a soccer referee. Why? There is a sentence, Alejandra, la concha de madre, don't translate me. You know, as a football referee, they curse your mother. Then the problem is that, you know, all the mothers, they want to see their children playing. So I said, Mom, you cannot come. Why? Because I'm the referee. If you'll come, you know, it's not going to work well because, you know, fans, I don't know how is it in the US, but in Israel, don't really like the referee. So my mom came once and then my father came. Anyway, so my story is divided into sports and tech. This is where I spend my time, sports and tech. And 2 years ago, I decided, because I'm dealing with entrepreneurs, working with entrepreneurs, and I help so many young guys to become, I would say, successful one in a more capitalist world, millionaires. I decided to focus my passion in sports and tech. Though, as I said before, Israel is not an amazing sport country, but actually, because I'm not coming from the comfort zone, because I'm not a leading country in sports, and taking the example of the automotive, boom, I saw an opportunity there. And I said, sports tech, this is where I'm going to park my car for the next 10 years. This is where I'm going to focus, and I want to make an impact. I want to become a sports tech nation. That's my vision. And doing that, what I actually did is, first of all, what do we do around entrepreneurship? Fake it till you make it, yeah? So I decided to create a slogan, Sports Tech Nation 2020. This was 2017. That's my vision. We are a sports tech nation. And I said, okay, Maccabi Tel Aviv, that's the top here. But if we compare Maccabi Tel Aviv basketball to, let's say, give me the fans NBA team that you like, wake up. Which NBA team is the most successful one, on your opinion?
Celtics.
Show me some blood, guys.
Lakers.
Lakers. Okay. Sorry, Matt. I go with Xavier. Okay. So let's take the Lakers. Compare them to Maccabi Tel Aviv. Doesn't feel that comfort. And then I said, okay, if I'm not coming from the comfort zone and I want to lead, I have to be very good on the side of technology, yeah? Because sport is like here and tech is here. So I cannot come from sport. I have to come from tech. So the vision is to bring technology into reality. In life, there are two ways to innovate. Once you see something that is broken, reality that creates technology. On the other way around, there is technology that creates reality. You get a point, yeah? Something is broken, this is reality, let's find a solution for that. Or on the other way around, the technology exists, let's do something with it. So this is the point. Holden, wake up, wake up, wake up. So the general idea is to bring tech into the sports. That's the difference. And when I think about bringing tech into sports, it means that what I'm coming from my strength point. And you always need to find, as entrepreneurs, your unique selling value, your competitive advantage, where you're good at. Yeah. Malcolm Gladwell, did you read the guy? Excellency, did you read the book? Read the book. It's very important. Read the book. Okay. So we are a team of 5 that are based in Israel, act local, think global. And from Israel, I want to lead, not Israel is a sports tech nation, but I want to lead sports technology worldwide. Oren, what are you? In Israel, in your like small apartment in Tel Aviv, you want to change the way sports moves? Yes. It's to think big and to understand that there is a room, there is a place for that, there is a gap in the market, and to educate sports tech and to lead. But how do I, as a young entrepreneur in the area, but as an entrepreneur with many years of, I would say, mileage in building innovation activities, I really understand how it works. So I said my comfort zone is I understand soccer. My comfort zone is that I spend, I would say, the last 10 years, I gave more than 120 talks around the world with Steve Wozniak, with Santos, the president, the Colombian president, the World Economic Forum 2018 in Washington D.C. I stood on huge stages talking about innovation, not sports tech, but general innovation, representing my agenda because I built several models around it, how to close the gap in building innovation. And I said, leave all this aside. Now I'm focusing only on sports. I'll bring my knowledge, my network into sports tech. And I decided to knock on the door. And which team is the best soccer team in the world? I would say the top three. Let's keep it easy. One is
Barcelona.
okay, Barcelona is one. Second, let's say
PSG.
PSG, and the third, Nicole.
Chelsea.
Good, good. Trying is important in life. You're wrong, but I'm with you. Yeah, I like it. No, they're good. They're good. So I said I'll knock on the door, and you always start with friends and family when you build entrepreneurship programs. Yeah, as the way we say friends, family, and the 3F. The 3F is very important when you want to become entrepreneurs. The friends, the family, and the guys, help me. 3F. Google it now. Katie, Google it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Google it. 3F. Friends. Holden, you woke up. Nice. Thank you for waking up and arriving our show today. So, fools. Holden, fools. Friends, family, and fools. Why the 3F are important? Because once we want to build, Jonathan, wake up. What are you guys? I thought that only the Israeli students are working their ass, waitress, and so on, and then they have their university time. They go to classes like, don't wake me up. I guess it's the same situation in the US, huh?
Pretty much. No, that it's
it's
a good group, but they with this.
I support it. I support it. I support it. Work hard, play hard, all good.
Yep.
Work, make the best out of it. 360. I like it. Parallel. Anyway, so focusing on the 3F, friends, family, and fools. Yes, this used to be in the history. Now it's friends, family, and Facebook. What does it mean, Facebook? Facebook is a mindset, not really Facebook. It means that Facebook is, some of you who said social media, social media, Kyle. Yeah. So it's the friend, family, and Facebook. When you build entrepreneurship programs, when you build something from scratch, you build it with, always you come to get advice, you get money. You come to get money, you get advice. So always, push people, get advice, get advice. And you ask for advice from who? From your friends, from your family. And then you ask for advice from the network, from the wisdom of the crowd. Yeah. From the Indiegogo, from the Kickstarter, from the network. And you also, as an entrepreneur, you have your pathway. And the same thing with sports, whether you decide to be an expert athlete or, an amateur. I'm playing with friends here and there twice a week, or I'm becoming an athlete 7 times a week. And you need to shout it out loud. And to shout it out loud means that you come and you post on your LinkedIn, on your Facebook, or any other platforms that will take your life and your time, and you publish over there and you shout it out that I'm going to build the next generation of whatever platform. I'm going to build the next generation of. So 2017, Friends, Family, Fools Me Network published Israel Sports Tech Nation Vision 2020. Fake it till you make it. Of course, we are not a sport nation, but coming from tech really allowed us. And it all leads into the point to try and understand, where do I bring value? So coming from a tech country, where do I bring value? From the reality, from sport? No, from technology. And today, in any sport that you watch, you will find Israeli technology. Any sport that you will play, you will find Israeli technology. And why do you care? Why is it important for you? It's important not because Israeli technology is important. It's important because usually when you see tech trends in the automotive, in the agri-tech and so on, Israel is always compared to the Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley is number one in technology, and then you have the Boston, you have New York and so on. Israel will always be in the top 5. And Israel is a very small place. So once you see trends in Israel and in Tel Aviv, you can understand where the market will lead. What's coming soon. It's a good place to see what's happening. So as I said, IoT is amazing, yeah? Wearing all these wearables is amazing to get data. But it's more amazing to see the next generation of electro-optics, of using cameras. You don't need any hardware. Hardware costs money. If you want to collect data with jersey, you have to have a chip on each one of the players that will collect the data, yeah? But it's much more affordable to have a camera that will collect the data and not chips. But it's more, what? Disruptive. It demands more understanding, deep algorithms, and deep ability to analyze data and build solutions that are based on lean. We like lean, yeah? When we do entrepreneurship, innovation, lean is the word. We like it lean. And then everywhere you go today, from Intel that acquired Replay and became Intel Sport, is based on Israeli technology, and many others that are actually seeing the future of. So what actually is sports tech? So there are 6 main verticals. So sports tech is, first of all, esport. Yeah, we talked about it, one of the leading fields. But sports tech is also what? Fan engagement, the ability to let the fans feel when they're in the stadiums like they're at home. And when they're at home, they feel like they are where? In the stadium or in the sports arena. There is always a joke in between the friends. I went to Miami 2015 and Miami Heat played against Toronto. We didn't have tickets, but the Israeli system always worked. Hey, do you know someone that can get us ticket, the playoff, Toronto, Miami, you know, fully booked? And then back then, 2015, there was an Israeli startup that is called WSC Sports. None of you is familiar with the name, but all of you, if you watch NFL, NBA, MLB, watch WSC Sports Outcomes. They are creating the fast movie making of all the last replays, the highlights of the games. So all of you are familiar to the material that WSC Sports produce. And I was calling the founder, the investor of the company was with me in Miami. And I fell asleep after 1 hour because I'm not used to it. And I was jet lagged. And I became a show and they put me on the big screen doing like this. And it was embarrassing. And that's the joke with me and the NBA. And why do I share that? Because the fan engagement didn't really work. Yeah, I didn't feel connected. It wasn't personalized enough to let me feel that, yes, as an Israeli that understands sports, understands tech, and is more into soccer and is more into hockey, we want you to engage into the sports. It's not yet personalized. So fan engagement is important. And fan engagement is the second vertical. So we have esport, we have fan engagement. What's the third one? Help me, guys. Sports tech verticals. There are 6. Esport, fan engagement. Sam, save me.
Data.
Data is good. Data is good. It's wide. It's for everything. Data is everything. Data is like AI. It's everything. Yeah. Saying data, saying technology, saying AI. It's important. But sports tech vertical that are very much sports. It's a good point. Sam? We go. We watch the game. Yeah. We go to the stadium. Smart stadiums. Smart stadium is the third one. We want to feel that the stadium gives us the opportunity to feel like we are at home. We want to feel secure. Yeah, we want to feel different. We want the competitive value of going and spending time, money. So we want more from the stadium. I went to Tampa 2 years ago, and they invited me to watch a baseball. It was tough for me. It was long. I was there. I didn't understand like zero. The beer was good. So I thought to myself, I have two options: not getting drunk and getting headache, getting drunk and it's going to be fun. So I got drunk after 1 hour because I understood that I'm not going to understand anything about the laws of the game. So I drank beers, and they asked me, how is the experience? I said, it's an amazing experience. And they wanted to take me the day after one more time, you know, and I said, no, it's enough. I got a point. Anyway, why am I sharing this? Stories from stories for you to remember the point that I'm looking for experience in the stadium. I want the stadium to be smart. It's part of the fan engagement, but it's much more than that, because smart stadiums are also an economic value. It's money, it's income. AR, VR technology. In few years from now, you'll be able to watch your beloved. I will give an example from soccer. Annette, you will be able to watch the game from the attacker or the defender or the midfielder, from their eyes to watch the game. Yeah, that's disruption. Amazing, no? Are you going to pay for it? Yes, no, maybe.
Are
Something to
you
think
asking
about.
if I would pay for that?
Yeah,
No, I wouldn't.
good. Me too. So I'm asking today, who is broadcasting more, I would say, sport hours? Is it the biggest ESPN now today, or other tech solutions? Who is broadcasting more sports today? You see this? You see this device? This is called Pixelot. This is called automated TV production. This company, Pixelot, broadcasts today more sport, live sport, than ESPN, the big ESPN. It's amazing, no? It's even crazy. It's disruption. Automated TV production company that exists 7 years, broadcast more hours than ESPN. So the future is about being lean, being automated. And we ask ourselves, how come they broadcast more? Because they have the ability to grow and to scale. They have the ability to actually create value. So in your point of view, when you are trying to look from people, I would say young students that are getting into their career in sport, potentially in sport management, you need to think 2 steps ahead on what's going to be disruption in 2 years from now. Yeah, I want to show you something really nice. I'll share a screen. I like this company very much. I hope the optimization will work well. Can you see?
Yeah.
Yes, no, yeah. Take a look.
We did witness history in the three-point contest for the NBA 2018 All-Star Weekend. Paul George, he had just 9 points, was eliminated in the first round. And then Eric Gordon, the defending champ, he also got eliminated in the first round. The second round was Tobias Harris, Klay Thompson, and Devin Booker. And Devin Booker, he caught fire. He put on a show and set an NBA record with 28 points in the three-point contest. He missed just 5 shots in the entire round. There's 5 racks. 1 rack he didn't miss a shot. And in another rack he missed 2 shots. So this is that.
Did you see the ring, the racks, the points? Did you see how accurate is the ball in comparison to the ring? Amazing. So this is called respect technology. They said, we want to improve your shooting. So we are not going to say in or out, yeah? if it's 1, 2, or 3. We're going to actually give you the ability to understand how accurate you are. So this is disruption. This is bringing more value, more data. It's also athlete development, but also on the other way around, media and broadcasting. In sports technology, you always need to ask yourself, okay, who is going to use it? Is it for the athlete development or is it for the media and broadcasting? So here it goes both ways, yeah, for the athlete development, for improving the skills, yeah, and the results, but also for the media. You see the media, they really like it. They use it. It's not just in or out, it's how accurate the shoot was. And these are the actually the first differentiation that you need to make. So Alejandra, your solution, your tech solution, what is it? Is it for the media? Is it for our social media? Is it for automated TV production? Or it goes for the athlete, for injury prevention, for injury recovery, for these areas? So the macro distinguish is athlete development or media, broadcasting, and so on and so forth. The second thing you need to ask yourself, is it going for elite athletes, players, or is it going for the mass market? If it's going for elite, let's say all the NBA teams are going to use this technology, which it's very close to reality. Many of them are using Respect. How many clients will you have worldwide? So let's take all the NBA. How many NBA teams we have? How many? 30. Let's add to that all the top basketball teams in Europe, let's say 100. So you're going to have 130 clients. You build a startup for 130 clients? No. Yeah? For sure not. You're going to fail. I'm not talking about clients that are the Ministry of Defense in the US or in Russia. There are NBA teams, yeah, or basketball teams in general. How much they can pay for that? $50,000, $100,000. How many millions you're going to make? 5 millions a year? This is not why you build a startup company, yeah? It's not an ARR, annual recurring revenue, that justify building a startup company that will grow, will scale. But if all the basketball academies in the US, in Europe, are going to use this solution to improve, yeah, their set of skills, it's a game changer. This is a different economy. Agree, Natalia? Or Natalie? Natalie. That's the point, to understand the difference. You ask yourself, is this going for, are we going with that into the top level or the low level? To reflect. In life, there are new customers. They have new needs. They want it faster, better, in a high quality. In startups, you always ask yourself, how do I make a product that is more successful than the other one, or a better version? So it needs to be better, faster, and cheaper, one of them, yeah? So the fans today, they're not anymore local fans or global fans. They're fluent fans. And the fluid fan, as my friend Angela defined it, Angela Rogero, which is an NHL Olympic ex-player, very successful one. I'm sure some of you know the name. And the fluid fan is a fan of values, and he wants to enjoy the game. He wants it now, and he wants data into his iPhone, and he wants it data that is personalized for himself, because otherwise he's going to fall asleep like me, yeah? And he wants it in high quality. And the new technology allow it. OTT, 5G, 4K allows us to create new customer needs, new technologies, digital transformation, Matt, yeah? We see it now, we see it happening today. So where do we see this technology, and where do you see problems with technology? The problem with technology in sport is politics. That's the main one. Politics for two reasons. One is because the managers of today are like the managers in the banks. They don't want to have a technology that will hurt them today to help the generation of tomorrow. Means that if I don't understand in technology, I cannot control the system. I don't want it. I have 4 years. I am the president. I am the CEO. 4 years. The next that will come after, we'll have to, cope with it and deal with it. Today, we don't want technology. I will lose I will have more transparency. I will lose my ability to hold, my ability to control, my ability to have an internal, very, I would say, isolated, focused decision-making by myself. And people don't want to lose control. For example, as a football referee, as a soccer referee, I'm sorry, VAR technology, VAR technology, this stupid move, I go to the screen, penalty, no penalty, red card, not red card. I don't know if you saw that. It's very common now. It's not innovation. Yeah. This was used in the US, in basketball, in football for many years. And now it's disruption in sports. They are using TV in sport. Wow, what a technology. This is bullshit, yeah? It's using existing technology since the 60s or the 50s in these days. And why is it like that? Because of politics. And we see the development from the photo finish, 1930, until today, the goal line technology and the VAR system, and much more that will come in the next years. And we understand that the competitive advantage and the ability to win will be based on tech. Now I will ask you a question. Almost 100 years ago, 1930, the worldwide record for men 10K running was how much? Let's say 10K, 10 kilometers. Yeah, I think you think in miles, but let's say 10 kilometers, Olympics, 1930. What was the world record?
I would guess about in the 28 minutes.
And these days?
I think a low 26, maybe high 25.
Yeah. So it was around 35 minutes, and today it's around 25. So it's 10 minutes in less than 100 years. Yeah, crazy. The population 1960, the worldwide population in 1960, let's say 60 years ago, what was it? How many billions were on our nice ball around the world? How many billions? Population worldwide 1960.
5 or 6 billion.
6 billion. Can you Google it? Josh, can you Google it faster? Brandon, can you smash it? Holden, can you wake up? Jonathan.
It says in 1960 it was 3 billion.
3 billion. Wow. And now how many are we?
I think it's like almost 7.
A bit more. And 2050, how many of us are going to be here? Almost 10 billion.
10, yeah.
Wow. So it took us almost, 1,960 years to get to 3 billion, and then less than 100 years to get into 10 billion. So we ask ourselves, we are growing that much. So the competitive advantage in sports, trying to analyze it, if the worldwide record went from 35 to 25, so Kyle, in 100 years from now, we are going to do it in 15 minutes. Make sense? Doesn't make sense, yeah? Or by the way that the worldwide population is growing, it means that we're going to do it in less than 10 minutes, yeah? Because everything is evolving and developing so fast. It doesn't make sense. But it does make sense that we're going to hit 24 or 23. And the ability to do that is actually by adapting and analyzing technology, type of shoes, way of running, and so on and so forth. This is something to think about, yeah? What I want to reflect on your hand is that the ability for me as a football referee after I quit. And it's an organization with a lot of politics. And they asked me, Oren, are you, because I quit when I was 35, are you disappointed or are you happy with your decision to leave after 20 years? I said that, guys, if in any case, if I'm not going to leave, they will come and will manage the game, yeah, the robots. So in that case, we actually see it happening today, that the feeling of the game, I would say the intuitive decision making, whether it's right or wrong, is not part of the game. And we ask ourselves, we like to curse people, and we like to share all the anger and to say, they're losers, we are the winners. This is the place to do it, maybe, yes, no, philosophy. But I think that more important today, Fluid Flan, is to have more values. But on the other way around, the place for mistake and the place for the intuitive decision making is not anymore in sport like it used to be. And this is something to think about. And what's my role in the game? My role in the game is to make sure that I take this amazing technology that I am exposed to in different verticals that we spoke about and bring it into the sports industry. And there was a report made 2 years ago that I would like to share. But before that, a good friend, technology is changing the world, it's changing our sport, it's changing the way people are following the NBA. And that's true. If Barca, the team that is one of the leading soccer clubs or clubs worldwide, I knocked on the door a few years ago and I said, Barca, I can bring technology, you bring the sports, can we work together? And then I became a tech ambassador of Barcelona. Not because I understand sport that much, but because I understand technology. And like in any other sport field, the same with soccer, it's based on technology. The ability to have an annual turnover of $1 billion this year, but this year to have more than that is based not on how many shirts they're going to sell, how many tickets they're going to sell, but how many virtual goods they're going to sell, how many assets, how many virtual coins, how the NBA can touch and in a personalized way fans or potential fans in China, in Australia, in Israel, in Denmark, in Sweden, and get them to be part of the game, not only by being a fan of Danny Evdia, but actually paying for that, making more money and giving them value. So I would like to share a report. This is a report that is called Deboucher, a professor that actually checked different countries by different parameters, and she saw that Australia is leading the research and innovation implementation in sport. And I was amazed to see that Israel, one of the leading countries around sport, is 27% adoption of research and innovation in sport. So this gap of opportunity, this gap created a gap of situation of 27%, created a gap of opportunity. Israel is one of the top worldwide leaders in tech, but in adoption tech into sport is one of the lowest. So I said, why is it like that? Because the perspective of people here around sport is not business. You cannot make a lot of money. You can make a lot of money in automotive, you can make a lot of money in cyber, but in sport, it's just for fun. No, you can make load of money around sports. And there are great opportunity. And you know what? Most of us as entrepreneurs, or most of us when we are going to build our career, we are going to work for different organizations. Are we going to like it? More than 80% of population doesn't really like what they're doing in their daily life. But once you deal with sport, it doesn't really matter if you're going to succeed or not. You really enjoy it. Dave, you enjoy working in the sports industry, yeah? So you can talk about Bank de Santander or JP Morgan, or you can talk about the Lakers. What's more fun, Sam? JP Morgan. I got you. Okay, that's nice. I got you. What's also relevant for you, the next generation of sports leaders, is the opportunities. Okay, crowd coach is an opportunity. 7 new jobs in sport: bioscientist, artificial intelligence expert, virtual reality directors, smart stadium architects. Okay, robotics trainer, data scientists, all the area that wasn't really part of the game 5, 6, 7 years ago is becoming relevant to you. How do you gain this expertise? I knocked on FC Barcelona door. I said, I can bring you value. I didn't understand how they will see me and say, wow, we brought Oren from Israel, understanding technology. It will bring us great solutions. I was like shocked when in a meeting with all the big brands that supports Barca, which is Nike, Rakuten, and like get PepsiCo, which is Gatorade and others around the table, and really big brands. And then he said, Oren will bring us technology. And I'm like, yeah, I brought here my bag and there are tons of technologies in my bag. So take them. Like, what do I do now? Yeah, how do I do it? How do I build it? What the structure is? And then I understood that the world is changing. A team without a data scientist is not a team. I'm not talking about LAFC. I'm not talking about the Lakers. I'm not talking about the 76ers. I'm talking about the second, third, fourth league. Yeah. Talking about teams everywhere, youth teams. They need data. They need automated TV production. They want apps that will be able to manage the connectivity and the relation between the coach, the parents, the players. Every step that the sport is taking is a technology step today. And in this technology step, you build your position in the future. So how do you get into it? You knock on the door. You are like entrepreneurs today that build your pathway, and you need to gain value. You need to gain experience. And it's always important to ask the question, hey, it's a chicken and egg, Oren. If I get experience, I get work. If I get work, I get experience. So where do we start? Yeah. First of all, you start big, because the sports organization, they need you. So knock on the big doors. Continue knocking on the doors till you get into a position, an intern or an employee that can bring them value. Okay, not the top teams, second, third, fourth tier, but knock on the doors, get value, get practical value, not practical value as a sport or sport manager, but bring them the tech mindset. Learn and gain the tech mindset, the digital transformation mindset. Talk the language, talk the number, which are very much entrepreneurial, I would say, lingo. You need to learn the tech and the entrepreneurial lingo and go with these toolbooks into the places you want to get, or you will get your internship or your first employment contract. So with that, I will open it for a discussion, for any questions you have, for any, I would say, request you might have. And of course, that I highly recommend. How many of you are using LinkedIn? How many of you are really active on LinkedIn? How many are not active on LinkedIn? How many are not? Raise your hand, it's either you are or you're not. Okay. Super important. Build your network. You're in the sports industry. Build your network. So the first move to do is, first of all, to connect. So I'll write my name. Yeah. Oren Simanian. That's it. Yeah. You can smile now. Smile, everyone. It's a print screen. Smile. Hold and smile. Katie, Justina, GM, you guys smile. Nice. Colgate. White smile. Boom. Anyway, Brandon, let's start with you. Please reflect.
reflect on
Whatever you want.
like any questions I had for you for that matter.
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
start with you. Let's do it. Throw
Okay,
something here.
Yeah, of course. So I actually happen to be like into esports myself. I was just wondering kind of like, cause I was looking on your website, Colosseum Sports, like for your company. I noticed that since you're a tech driven company, I just was wondering like, has your company ever, I guess, say collaborated with any like major esports competitions as well as like potentially getting the word out there, doing data analytics, anything such of that nature?
That's a good point. So from a macro level, I would say reflection, there are major events globally. So there is the Olympics, the World Cup. One of the major sports event is it's kind of it's a culture, religion, very much connecting the Maccabea. The Maccabea is the Jewish sports Olympics in a way. Yeah, it by tradition it started many years ago in order to connect Israel to the diaspora and so on. And today it's much more kind of how to call it, a dating system to interacting between people from all over the world. And it's a nice network and it's a huge event. So the Maccabea decided this year, seeing the future, to adopt the worldwide esports championship. And they actually took it on a leadership. And it was supposed to take place offline in Israel, but COVID times. So it was online. So they took the championship for this year and for next year to execute it here in Israel. So I wouldn't say that the Israeli tech people understand the opportunity yet in the esport. They are very much into the media and gaming, and tons of companies like Plus 500 and many others or Papaya and many other gaming, but the core technology come from Israel, not the use cases. Why is that? When I say use cases, you're not going to see a lot of fantasy coming from Israel. Why? Because in the sport culture, the Israelis, they don't understand fantasy. So they don't even know if they have the tech abilities. They don't even know that there is a market for that. They don't know what's cricket. Now, billion people are playing cricket. People don't know what's cricket here. And it's like a barrier of language. You want to do entrepreneurship, you don't speak English, you cannot do entrepreneurship. Yeah, you cannot be part of the game, part of the ecosystem, part of the forest. You can use my Middle East English. It's working in a way. I'm not fluent, but you get a point. Yeah. So what I'm saying is that here the gap is huge. Like I have a Peruvian entrepreneur. They have Penca. Maybe Xavier, Latin America. Maybe people know a little bit what's Penca. I don't know. It's a collective game. People pay. It's sports. I said, what's Penca? He says, you don't know what's Penca? Millions of people are playing. I said, okay, maybe, I don't know. You don't know. You're not in the forest. You cannot bring the solutions. That's a challenge. And getting back to answer to your concrete question is, of course, we'll be happy to have an opportunity to collaborate. Is to stay humble and to understand what you're good at and what you're not. We are good in technology. We are far away from understanding sport. So if you bring culture-based understanding of sport, if it's esport or if it's related to the NFL, to the MLB, boom. Please, Alden, your turn.
My turn? Okay. I have a question about the analytics part. So do you feel like teams or coaches dig too much into analytics sometimes? Like instead of putting the best player out on the field, they put the best player in that situation. And what do you think about that?
Okay. So 2017, I wanted to explore the sports tech industry. I went to Italy. And then in Italy, I went to meet the AC Milan tech team. AC Milan was at that time owned by a Chinese owner. And the Chinese owner put loads of money and he said, I want to win. And it didn't work. And Gattuso, if you know players anyway, a very famous player, used to be the coach at the time, Gattuso. And he didn't like technology. And the guys that were leading analytics, technology after development, they moved their office from, the lobby to -3, because if he saw the data guys, he said, all these bullshit guys, I don't want to see them around them. They are contaminating my player's brain, yada, yada, yada. So it depends. There are coaches, the new generation admire data, they're looking for data, and so on and so forth. But yet, finally, there are things that technology and data and matchmaking cannot happen like in life. Means that if you will take the 5, I would say, best players and you put them on, to play for the Lakers, are they going to bring for sure the best results? No. Is there a correlation? Yes. Why for sure not? Because there is something in the air that is called the relation, the internal relation in between people that is it's very difficult to measure them. When you go into a military, I would say, activation, and you walk out with the top soldiers, they're going to perform the best. Top soldiers are soldiers that work well together as a team, like players. And how do you know if they work together well, if they train well, if they execute well, if they have mileage together, if they understand each other, and so on and so forth? So technology can really help. But the matchmaking in between people, it's something that takes time and not always easy to analyze and forecast. And technology can do it. Yes. Are we there? Not yet 100%. But I truly support using tech and using data and analytics. But to some extent, you need to go with a gut feeling sometimes. Is he going to kick this penalty or the other one? Sometimes there are things, incident areas that happen during the match, and you don't have the most updated data. What's nice in sport in comparison to any other thing in the world? What's nice in sport that it is live. It's the only important live, show that the live show is important even in a latency of a second. Means throwing the ball, is it in or out? 34 seconds or 30 seconds till the end, he throws the ball, and then you hear your neighbor jumping saying, yeah, and you are still, what? I didn't see it coming. Why is he jumping? Is it in? Is it out? Yeah, the penalty. You're waiting for the penalty. It's the last penalty, and you're waiting, and then the World Cup, the Brazilian won, everyone is jumping, and you're like sitting in your living room because you're using this, cable company that has 3 seconds latency. Where do we find a match in between the importance of latency in sport and, it's funny to say, in sport and in war? If someone shoot a missile on you, the seconds, the latency is important. It's like in sport, in terms of mindset. Jack, you want to see your team playing? Are you gonna and you already know the results? Are you gonna watch the game again? Most chances you're not gonna watch the game. That's the idea with sport. Zero latency, most accurate. It's like, for people, it's like war. I want it now. I want to see the results. I want to follow. This is, that's the passion. It was a short answer. Sorry. Natalie.
Do you want me to ask you like a question?
Whatever you want. You can just say a fact.
Okay.
Whatever.
Well, what sports tech or like innovation have you seen in the more recently that you think will be like the next big thing over the next 5 to 10 years?
It's a good part. I think that the virtual asset, like the virtual goods, is something that is going to rise. It's the needs of the clubs, especially now these days when they're suffering and they need to digitalize themselves and sell values. Because in terms of income for sports organization, so 1/3 is the day match, like the match day, what happens, people are coming, buying food, they're buying tickets and so on. So 1/3, let's say 20% is out. Yeah. It's a lot of money. They need to compensate it. And the way to compensate it start with digital values, digital transformation. You know, when the guys, Barca and Real Madrid, they understood that their biggest fans club in the world, the base of fans in the world, the biggest per country is in Indonesia. They were shocked. Indonesia, we thought China, we thought the US, we thought, I don't know, Spain. But Indonesia, we have 6, 7, 8 million fans in Indonesia. How do we target them? How do we make money? How many people from Indonesia came to watch in the Camp Nou, Barca playing against Real Madrid? Not many. How do we monetize that? So digital, I would say, digital commercialization in a big word. That's one thing. And the second thing, I think that the ability to monetize esports and the ability to connect between sports to esports. So all the leading teams, they have now esports teams. And let's see where this will lead for sure. And can talk about auto production, which is also very important, and so on and so forth. But yeah. Annette?
Yeah. Do you ever feel like your business hits a plateau?
Yeah.
What do you do to get out of that?
You know what's the deal with good wine? Who drinks wine? Who is an alcoholist and doesn't want to share this with us? Okay, so wine. We drink wine. We buy wine, yeah? We buy wine, and then people tell us, you know, you take this wine and you keep it in some place for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20, 30 years. Is it always upgrading and becoming a better wine? Yes, no, what do you think?
Yeah, the longer it gets, the better.
Yeah, that's so they taught us that, you know, you look like, you know, you're like wine, you know, you look better by years, you know. I'm getting old, so they tell me that a lot. Hey, Oren, you're like wine, you know, shut up. Anyway, so it works like that. So wine is like that. It's improved by years, 1, 2, 3, 4 years, and then it gets into a plateau, and then it's declining by the quality. And in general, that's the answer. Yeah. And then we ask ourselves, okay, so it's improving, it's improving, then plateau, then it's declining. How do we solve this? The idea is innovation, to add one more layer. And you know, even if you're declining, you are getting higher. More innovation, more technology, more solution, you're getting higher and higher. Yeah. It's like let's analyze Amazon. Yeah. Amazon, let's sell books. Okay, going up, plateau, and then down. Other competition, but they're always going like this. Yeah. So if they're going to decline, always going to be high in the level. So they are listed in trillions, not in billions. And that's the idea, to bring innovation, to bring new blood, to bring to, you know, the ideation phase. It was a good answer, or at least it was an answer. Okay. Okay. So I think we're done, or I'm done. One of these.
Well, listen, Oren, we appreciate it. I mean, I think you answered. We had a bunch of questions here, and I'd be surprised if you didn't answer all of them. But if anybody has any other questions to ask, please jump in now.
I got a question.
Good, go.
So this is a question I've been like holding for like 20 minutes. Do you think we're ever gonna have like a national esports teams representing in the Olympics? Yes. And how many years are we away from that?
So the Olympics, I think that yes. How far we are, politics. So I guess when it's going to reach a point where a lot of fans are going to spend their time, it's going to be far more than what we see now, that there was the Super Bowl and then esports and MLB and others, when we're going to see more and more the young generation, you know, spend times. And when I say spend time, it means that, imagine if I am an NFL fan or an MLB fan, and let's say an MLB, I'm crazy, I spend 7 hours, how many times a week? Twice, 3 times, you know, watching my MLB, my baseball team playing or whatever. So let's say I spend 20 hours. These kiddos spends 20 hours in 2 days. They spend in a week sometimes 30, 40, 60 hours, yeah, on esports. It's crazy numbers. So they spend much more time on esport than in any other sport, than on any other sport. So it just reflects the situation that tomorrow Alejandra and Jonathan and Olden and Sam, all of you will need to understand that as these future decision makers, if you don't want to lose them, you have to win them to create a hybrid solution. We are not there yet. And there is a debate. Everyone knows that, but in terms of the decision makers or the Olympics, and some of them already talk about it, but it's something to say, we are adopting in sports into the Olympics. It's a big thing because, as we said, and my main question is sport is sport. We don't know. So this with it. But let me ask you a question. So can I? Yeah. So let's keep it short. We have, let's say, 2 minutes for all of us. I will ask you on your way around, and I will start with Jake, if it's okay. Yeah. What is the biggest challenge for the sports industry in the next 10 years? Jack.
Recovering from the pandemic.
Okay, good. Sam.
Yeah, I'd go somewhere along the similar lines, just like getting people being comfortable going back into stadiums and adapting to, what people have grown accustomed to with like non-contact sort of methods with once they're in stadiums and stuff like that.
Yeah, good. Try not to repeat yourself, guys. Nicole?
Sorry. I probably have to say updating the broadcast and keeping people engaged from home through the television.
Nice. Brandon?
I would say generating new fans, as newer generation of people, kids for that matter, gravitate more towards esports and more electronics and digital platforming. I think that for these like the main 4 professional sports in the US, getting new fans, especially when the NBA works off an escalator system where they try to keep new fans and build, make them and deliver more content to them. I think for major professional sports leagues is going to be very hard to generate more newer fans to the generations to come.
Nice. Alejandra?
I would say developing new ideas for fan engagement, and not being able to have like a lot of people in the stadiums or like in the courses like in the past.
Mm-hmm. Jonathan?
Yeah, I was gonna say ways to generate more fans as well.
Jonathan, be more creative. Let's leave the fans.
I mean, I just feel like there really hasn't been any, like, you're not allowed to really like go to games. So I think once you're allowed to do that, once stadiums are full capacity, then just find ways to attract them without like, everything going on.
I get it. Nice. Holden?
I said that making sure like the end stadium security and like all the personnel are on top of their game as well, because without them, their fans won't be able to, or be able to know what exactly is going to be going on during that time. So just being well informed, basically, having your staff and everybody be well informed.
Mm-hmm. Josh?
I was going to say just finding that perfect balance to kind of attract new fans and keeping like the old-fashioned fans going, because in baseball, for example, it's very split. The old heads, the more conservative guys, fans of the game, think differently as opposed to the younger generations of the fans of the game. So just kind of finding that perfect balance would kind of make things a little bit better.
Nice. Xavier.
I would say the introductions of robotics in sports. I think that's
Nice.
like one of the challenges that probably we're gonna see in 10 years from now.
Matt.
I would say teams picking like the methods they use to engage fans using technology. Like there's going to be so many platforms for them to pick and choose from. So I think whoever is the best at deciding what to use and will be the most successful.
Wow, that's a big one, and I will reflect. I will give you tons of data. What do you do with the data? I will give you tons of tech solutions. What do you do with these tech solutions? Yeah. And this is one of the challenges because sports organizations are not Apple, are not Cisco, they're not tech companies. Yeah. So they don't have the ability to screen and actually make decisions. It's a good one, Matt. Annette.
I would say instead of separating esports and I guess more physical sports, seeing how they could intertwine more.
Got it. Natalia.
I was kind of gonna go off with what Matt said about like with all these new platforms for sports to be on, or just like in general of like broadcast rights deals, how like in the next 5 to 10 years, like there's so many cord cutters and how all these sports are coming up with new broadcast rights deals and how they're going to be showcased on platforms like Hulu, and some are on like Peacock, stuff like that, where they're more going to streaming services rather than NBC, CBS, stuff like that.
Nice. Okay, the off camera, if you want to add something, with pleasure. In any case, guys, so I'm connected on LinkedIn. Anything, really, any request you might have, connection, network, whatever needed to help you succeed, it's always a give and take. So anything you ask, in a way, you support me. So feel free to ask, really, and feel free to request things. And in a very Israeli way, you can request, knock on the door. Hey, Oren, can you put me in contact with this and that? Hey, Oren, what do you think about this and that? Hey, Oren, take a look at our amazing one pager. We want to raise $5 million. Show me the money. Those kind of things. Yeah. No money, but we can ask. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed it. It's already 1 a.m. here. So you hold me a good coffee tomorrow morning. Got a point?
Got it, brother. I get you more than
Split
that.
it, share it. Yeah.
At the end of the day, I was going to remind everybody it's after 1 a.m. your time. So if the people in this class are feeling tired, then we got to give this guy credit because he's a energizer bunny with his and a great, unless he's giving you a lot of information, not just for career and technology and innovation, but think about it in terms of finances and tech companies that are just worth zillions. And so if you're an investor, it's something to think about. So connect to him. I will follow up. I would like us all to thank him and just say just a tremendous job, and thank you, Oren. It was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.